Hello, and welcome.
Whoa.
Yeah, we're coming in hot, baby.
The excitement.
It's heating up. I'm Tommy DeSalt.
I'm Kellen King.
This is Post Hump Day Podcast, also known as PhD. There you go.
Dude, Tommy, I just want to get right into it because, first of all, I haven't seen you in a while, even though it seems like...
Dude, we feel like strangers.
Yeah. Well, anyway, sorry, my head was going all over the place. But Bahamas, you just got back from the Bahamas?
Yeah.
First of all, how was that?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I tell you what, it was one of my favorite trips I've had in a long
Bahamas, come on, baby mama. Were y'all singing that over there? Did that even cross y'all's mind?
Bahama, Mami.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed our time. It wasn't like an overly long trip. It was, to me, just about the right amount of time. Could have done another day or two.
How many days were you guys there?
It was 3.
3, yeah.
Yeah, but 4 kind of.
Like traveling for 4?
If you count, like, the days in and out, because we did get kind of a late checkout.
Yeah.
Noon, so we had some time that morning, and then the day we got there on a Sunday. We got there like afternoon. It was pouring rain though when we got there. It is hurricane season.
Yeah.
So
I thought hurricane season was over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
It's actually just started. Yeah. I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But the driver told us it starts in June. June 1st through November 31st.
Bro, we've been getting
Is there 31 days in November?
Let me check with my knuckles. Have you ever done this? You know this trick? Here, count them because I got my knuckles here.
January, February, March.
No, you missed a knuckle. January, February, March, April, May, June, July. There's 30 days in June.
Okay.
31
in July.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And if that's wrong, we apologize.
I think we're checking November, dog, but...
What's that?
We're checking November.
Oh, so we got to keep going. Okay.
Yeah.
January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. There's 30 days in November.
Oh,
you
so
stupid piece of
30th.
shit.
Yeah.
But like December has 31 days, so you could have just like...
Well, yeah, but so look, these 2 knuckles in the middle, that screws everything up.
You got to count
Yeah,
that
but
gap.
that's June and July.
The Great Divide.
Yeah.
You got to count it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he was telling us it was hurricane season.
Hey, if we had an editor, I'd just have him put Thug Life right there on my knuckles while I count this.
We can probably
yeah,
do
in
that.
post. We'll do it in post.
Yeah, I tell you what though, we stayed at a 5-star resort. Lookout.
Nice.
No, it was.
Okay, so that's sarcasm.
No, yeah,
You thought it was going to be nicer than it was?
No,
Oh,
no,
God,
no,
no.
no, 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 no. Like, I mean, like, if you could have seen just the amount of money in this place.
Okay, so it was a nice hotel.
Oh, yeah.
It was
All right.
massive.
Probably the nicest place I've ever stayed in my life.
Okay, I was hinting a little sarcasm.
No,
it was
no,
giving.
I meant like
It was giving.
what I was going for is, it was a little out of our norm.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah,
But
this wasn't like your run down to Seaside or
Gotcha.
Orange Beach, you know?
Gotcha.
This was
yeah.
Was it just y'all or y'all went the fam?
So my parents were there.
Yeah.
They were there for a wedding. For my sister-in-law's brother got married on a different island, in the Bahamas.
Oh, so they were island hopping.
So they island hopped,
Yeah.
and then we caught them on the last leg of it.
That's
and, but dude, there's so much that happened in 3.5, 4 days. It was pretty wild.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing though, okay, hold on. Right before we got there, there was a tragedy. About it was a senior trip.
Okay, like school,
And
like high school.
Well, this has been all over the news.
it
But
was on TikTok.
it's on TikTok. I'm
I haven't
surprised
seen
you
it.
didn't. That's where Kellen gets his news. So
No,
I'm
that is not
shocked
true.
he didn't know about this. But yeah, actually, a recent senior graduate passed away.
Ooh.
He had jumped out the back of a sunset cruise
Oh man.
in the Bahamas, and there's speculation if it was a shark that got him or
Oh, I thought you were gonna
if the current, but he drowned. He was considered lost at sea, which is the same as at this point like a death certificate.
Yeah.
So
Basically, his friends dared him on the Sunset
That
Cruise.
is so stupid.
The drinking age down there is 18.
Yeah, so
they were all drinking.
Yeah.
And he jumped in. They threw him a buoy, and he's like 10 feet from the buoy,
And then it's already
15
passed.
feet from the buoy, and then there's only now there's 2 videos now on social media. But if you see in the video, there's hundreds of kids on this boat. So everyone's like, why are there not more videos? Everybody has a phone. It's 2023.
Mm-hmm.
But you see in the video, the kid looks at the buoy, and then he turns and swims the other way. And so that's why people are like, oh, it's a shark. And if
The kids' commentary on the boat made me sick.
it made me nauseous.
Like, they were obviously wasted having a good time, but the things they were like, oh, bye-bye.
Oh, shit.
I was like, dude, this kid's dying.
Yeah. Like
It's pretty fucked up.
Did
Anyways,
nobody try to go in, or?
No.
They would have died too.
But yeah, so that happened like the week before we got there.
That happened on one of our... Has that ever happened on a cruise of y'all's?
Yeah,
Where someone...
on a big cruise. Yeah,
Someone kind of...
but this was like a
Little boat.
It looks like those pirate type
Yeah.
boats,
Yeah.
more so.
Yeah.
But you know how my mom is. God bless her. She is an angel.
Mm-hmm.
So there was multiple senior trips there. So anytime some kid was at the bar next to her, she was like, "Hey, I know I don't know you,
Oh.
but don't be doing that." So
Yeah.
One of them like hugged her.
yeah, one
She-
kid was like, dude, he was pretty tanked.
Yeah.
And he was at the bar, and B and I had met them. This was in a jazz lounge on the resort.
Man,
And
that's...
my dad. He's like, y'all meet us at the jazz lounge. We want to we'll go gamble, but meet us at the. And B was like, I do not want to go to it. It's so loud. I don't want to go. And we stopped by there. Dude, we were standing behind my mom for a good 4 or 5 minutes, and she was talking to this kid, and then he got up and like gave her a big hug.
See, I was gonna say the scary thing about that is that like it wasn't too long ago that we were on trips like that. You know, like
Yeah.
you went to the Bahamas. Obviously, you were there, but I'm saying, spring break, those kind of things. Like you could have probably dared me to do one of those things at one
Yeah.
point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I probably would have been like, no, that's not a good idea. But it would have been like a 50-50 if I would have done it.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I was doing similar, not in the Bahamas, but in high school when we,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's scary to think about. But anyways, I don't want to put a damper on
You're
it.
good.
But so that it was relevant because that was very recent. There was a lot of high school graduates there, and which was
That does seem fun though. That would be
was like I was
badass.
like, dude. I mean, and like they must come from,
some money.
some money because not only where they were staying, but also, I mean, they were getting the like private cabanas and all types of stuff. I mean, they were living large, and so
Yeah.
that was cool to see the graduates like.
Probably, a
It's
lot
like,
of
dude, that would
graduation
be
money too. A lot of,
graduation money. I was like, that would be such a cool trip.
Mhm.
But the
Um,
other thing is, it's not all inclusive. Did you just say that?
I didn't say that,
Uh.
but yeah, it wasn't
So,
all
like-
inclusive.
Yeah. So
Is
it's,
it like you can't eat anywhere or get drinks anywhere?
yeah.
And
less
it's
than
expensive. It's
$100.
expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, we got, she got soup. What else came with the soup? A
Okay, we
sandwich,
got-
sandwich soup, and I got pancakes.
It was
and
a late night snack.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
$55.
Damn.
For room service.
So, which isn't might not seem crazy.
No,
but,
that is for
but-
soup, sandwich, and pancakes. Like,
but the drinks were like $20 to $30 a drink.
jeez, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. But all that to be said, as cliche as it was, our whole like inside thing was we're LIVIN. Like
Hell
we're
yeah.
just like your koozie says. We
Living
were
the dream.
living the dream.
So you look over there just to kind of figure out if you're spelling it right.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I couldn't remember if they had the G on it.
I wanna-
Or not.
I
There's
wanna-
no G.
I do want to ask you, as me, as a friend of yours, I got to see a picture of the trip while you were over there.
Yeah.
And for the listener at home, I'm not going to show it on camera or anything like that.
It's okay.
But it's a picture of you guys at the beach.
Yeah.
You and B just living the dream. And you're in the back. She's, front page,
Front page.
headline of this picture, and you're holding her hand like some, couples do in pictures where they like have the, they're holding the hand or leading somebody.
Yeah, I know which one you're
But it
talking
looks like you're pulling her away from the camera. It looks like you're like, hey babe, like let's get out of here. It looks like it's giving father. It's like she's
Damn.
the
Dude.
18-year-old on senior break, and she brought her dad. That's a little bit like, you know.
Yeah, I tell you, yeah, we had quite a documentation of this trip. Lots of pictures.
What were we doing in that one picture?
We were walking along
No,
the beach.
You weren't walking.
Strolling.
No, we were dancing.
Oh, we were dancing.
So he had spun me.
Oh,
so he was
yeah,
pulling me
yeah.
back.
Dang,
Okay.
she's got such a better memory than I
That's
do.
great. That's great.
God
Okay,
bless.
that makes you,
That's what it was. I was spinning her,
because you're like pulling her, and it's like, hey,
Yeah, so I
like,
was
get
pulling
away
her.
from these like locals.
pulling her back. Yeah. Yeah. No, I forgot we were dancing. Yeah, we were dancing.
That's great to know.
dude. I tell you what though. Normally I don't do this just because it's like, I don't know, seems kind of cheesy or childish, but dude, I got virgin daiquiris while we were there,
Oh yeah.
and
So you were on your 18-year-old senior trip.
well, they can drink.
No, I know, but
there, but yeah, yeah, no, it was, but like I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get a virgin strawberry daiquiri. I don't even care.
what's the best?
And she
what's-
was getting drinks and pineapples and
What's the best like beach drink? Would you say? Do you? I mean,
they had Bahama Mamas, they had Miami Vices, Sex on the Beach, Pina Coladas. B got
pina coladas.
She wanted
go
a
hard
pina
to pay.
colada so bad, and she got
I
a
was
couple.
so excited to get
Yeah,
pina coladas.
they go hard. I
on
think
the beach, like they just hit different.
Yeah,
I
they
had,
do.
4.
they do. Pina coladas, margaritas. Those are the top two for me. I mean, they're the most like common, the gold standard though.
Yeah,
I don't
This,
think I had a margarita.
they're the
Yeah.
ooh with the salt on the rim. You already got the salt from the ocean, so it's just like
yeah.
just water at that point.
Well, she
baby.
drinks margaritas here as it is regularly.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah,
So it was kind of cool to see her get to drink some different drinks.
Yeah, if we go to like a Mexican restaurant or something, I'll grab a margarita
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
But yeah, the other thing was like, dude, I was on a couple different antibiotics at the same time
Yeah,
that overlapped this trip. And one of the things was I couldn't have propylene glycol, so I couldn't vape
yeah,
the entire trip.
little.
And
That sucks. First of all,
I
especially.
thought I was going to, yeah, it was,
Did you do? I mean,
So-
both of you and I do kind of the nicotine
Yeah.
pouches.
yeah, so,
Was that on the table?
yeah, I definitely, that's what kept me from,
Dying
yeah.
inside.
But yeah, dude, it was crazy. So I don't know if it was the antibiotics or I have heard plenty of people say like when you come off those, vapes, there's different products that are stronger than others.
Yeah.
Salt nic and all the nicotine. I had the wildest dreams that like first night after,
Hell yeah.
like
And
a full 24 hours.
let's do a little dream analysis.
Yeah,
If you
I
wa-
think
if
it'd be
you-
fun. I think it'd
Yeah.
be fun.
All right. So maybe laid back down on the couch a little bit, and we'll get into it. You don't
Yeah,
have to
I
lay
actually know quite a bit about dream interpretation.
Well, I'll get my phone out just to see, because I like looking up my dreams. Like, if I have a very vivid dream and I'm like, what the? And also, I know it, guys. Hearing this on the podcast, like when you have someone tell you about their dream, it's pretty like nobody really cares. right?
Yeah, at all. But I just want to take the like bizarre things,
Yeah.
and kind of break that down.
Yeah.
And there's different significance between, like some dreams your teeth all fall out.
Yeah.
There's a meaning behind that.
Yeah. You're very stressed. You know what the one I get a lot is, and I hate this dream. It's similar to like, people say like, oh, you're naked at school or whatever. Mine is like, I've got to take a really big shit, and I'm at school, and all the bathrooms I'm going into are just filthy. They're like, there's like shit all over the ground, like all over the mirror. Like the janitor took the day off. There's water running.
So they're not all occupied. They're just all filthy.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find a good one, and like I'm like, and I got to go to a different and I'm going to different like, I've been to different schools in my lifetime, so I'm like having to remember the layouts of like where the next bathroom is and all this kind of stuff.
Oh,
And
man.
always.
Pretty in depth. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the one that's been reoccurring lately.
Okay.
I want to hear yours.
Yeah. Well, the bits and pieces that I remember, as vivid as it was, I mean, there's certain things that stuck out.
Yeah.
One of those was the weirdest thing is like it started out where we actually were.
Okay, the
Okay, so-
Bahamas.
Right. And in our room had a balcony, but the balcony didn't have chairs or anything. Like you could barely
Oh, kind of get
It
out.
was a
stand.
French balcony for those.
a French
I
balcony.
got you.
Yeah.
All right.
So just a kind of narrow balcony with a rail.
Gotcha.
So you can stand out there, but no sitting.
smoke a cigarette.
Yeah,
Smoke a French cigarette.
exactly. And it had sliding doors. Right.
Save some room on the balcony.
Exactly. Well, I had like gone out there
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, okay, keep in mind, I'm guessing they had parasailing going on
Oh,
in
yeah.
the ocean. So I'm guessing like part of this was like a bunch of different things
Yeah.
factored in, but I could float.
Okay, in the water or
Just
in
in the air.
In the air. Those are great dreams.
So yeah, but I remember while I was asleep feeling super dizzy.
Mm.
Now there's a second half of this, but so I'm like floating,
Uh-huh.
and I end up floating too far up over the rail.
Oh, I've had that happen. I mean,
And
like,
so
I know
now I'm outside of the French balcony, and I'm like, oh fuck! Like,
I'm
I-
looking
I
it up while
couldn't-
you're
I
talking.
couldn't control where I was actually floating. So it wasn't like I was flying. I didn't have a cape. I was just kind of floating.
Mm-hmm.
And like I could turn. It was like you were in a video game and you could change the camera perspective.
Yeah.
So like my body, but I couldn't actually go or like control where I was
Where,
going.
yeah, you were kind of like a little bit
Like levitating.
lucid,
in a
almost
way.
in a sense.
Yeah,
Like you're like,
yeah.
okay, I know I'm floating. That always happens to me in dreams. Like when I'm floating or flying, like it's like, okay, I'm flying or I'm floating. Let's try to control this. And it's like I get like 80% of the way there, but that 20% is like you're right. You can't really.
Dude, I
do
couldn't
directional.
do anything about anything in this dream. And I was like seeing things. I couldn't have any control.
Mm-hmm.
It was really weird. But then it got to be where like I couldn't feel my arms. And it was like I didn't know if I had like sleep paralysis.
You're sleeping weird.
Or if I had slept wrong on my arm. But this was all so real in this dream that
Yeah.
I'm just floating around. And then at some point, it was like I was in another dimension. Like I wasn't. So that's what's weird is it started out so real that I was at our room in the balcony, but somewhere along the way,
You lost your tether. You were way out into the universe.
yeah. And it was like I couldn't find my way back.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Floating, close correlation to flying in dreams, usually relates to the spiritual side of the dreamer, the middle way before a major transitional shift in life. In general, floating or levitation dreams can feel quite exhilarating, that symbolically represent confidence, success, and happiness for the dreamer. Bro, I would say if you're in the Bahamas and you're getting a floating dream at the day one of the trip,
Yeah.
You're elated.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
like you're like, and if you're just in a good mood, you're just happy, you're ready to go dance on a beach.
Yeah, it kind of took a turn though, because then it got to be like, I don't want to say monsters, but like some real vicious stuff happening that I just had no control over. So I'm just living in fear, floating in the air.
Okay, well I can look that.
So
up.
yeah, I don't know what that means, but
haven't-
that's where it went wrong for me. Was like, it was like I couldn't stop things,
Yeah.
I couldn't do anything, but I was just floating around uncontrollably. Now, what was weird is that I don't know what happened. If it was the medication or the coming off, I vape pretty frequently. Dude, I ate dinner. We went to a pretty nice place. I had the best club sandwich I've probably ever had.
Shout out.
And as we're sitting there at the tail end of dinner, I just got super dizzy.
Some vertigo?
Beyond.
Yeah.
I was like on a cruise ship, on a boat type
yeah.
feeling, rocking while I'm sitting down talking. And I was right in the middle of a story. And I just ducked out of that story as fast as I could.
You got lightheaded?
But actually, I want to ask you, because the question that came up at dinner, I was like, dang, I want to ask Kellen this.
Yeah.
And it's generic, but it struck up quite a conversation. If you could see one artist or band, living or dead, anybody, in any environment, any situation, Who would it be?
So do I get to pick the venue and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
too? Damn. All right. I want to hear who you picked first, if you don't mind, so I can kind of rack my brain to think about who I. Did you have an answer?
I had like 4 different
Yeah.
ones, and then I narrowed it down to one. And I still am on the fence. Do you want to? I'll give you mine.
Okay. Yeah.
Then they give you some
And
time.
I kind of have some people
Yeah.
already, but
B, what was yours? Who was your who was your artist that you would see living or dead? We talked about it. I can't remember what you said.
Was it like Freddie Mercury?
ooh, that'd be cool.
I think it was. I think it was Freddie Mercury for you.
It's about to
Oh
pop.
wait, no. I said Journey.
Journey. That's what it was. Yeah. She went Journey.
I would. So my thing is, if I'm gonna do it with somebody, like watch them and all that kind of stuff, I'd like it to be kind of like a private venue, like almost like a house, like a small club, and then like grab drinks, that kind of thing. Is that too much to ask?
No, it's not, because I actually went Stevie Ray Vaughan acoustic.
Ooh, that's cool.
Which Stevie Ray Vaughan did not think he was that great.
Yeah.
Especially acoustic. He had a lot of insecurity, stripped down.
Yeah.
But what's ironic is like some of my favorite stuff was him acoustic. Like I thought he just like soared. With the way he was able to emote things like in that situation versus full scale. And so, yeah, I wanted an intimate Stevie Ray Vaughan acoustic.
Yeah.
Me and my friends. And yeah, maybe like a 50-person room or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at, is like maybe almost like a brewery spot, or like there's a couple bars that I'm thinking about locally, just like kind of like and I wouldn't call them dive bars, but just like more cozy bars. I'd pick Jimi Hendrix. Would be kind of cool to just hear him just go off. Like I'm just sitting there at a brewery, and he's just there with his guitar just in the corner and just like going off. And then he goes up to the bar. He's like, "All right, thanks guys, I'm gonna be back in 5 minutes." And then I'm like sitting at the bar, just like, "Hey dude, you're doing really good. Like, what's your secret?" "Oh, I flipped my guitar upside down because I'm left-handed."
I got
don't know,
acid
whatever.
in my bandana.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just I'm sweating acid right now. No, but him, and then it's a guy from locally from Dallas. He's really big now, and I can never remember how to say his last name, but I think you'll know who I'm talking about. His name's like Mark Rebele or something like that. He's in some like commercials and stuff, but he does like the improv EDM music where he just like he went famous over like he was at a brewery like playing in the corner and just playing the most like offensive, like just crazy stuff. He's just like like moaning into it's just like funny. I don't know. He just like has this like kind of golden retriever energy, and I think he'd be fun to like hear and just. But I would want like a lot of my friends to be there, because I watched
that Paul Rudd energy.
In a sense, yeah. But he's just like a very good improver. He's and I would like for him to just like play, and he does like the loop track stuff. Well, he'll play like a riff on the guitar or on the piano.
Yeah,
4-bar it or whatever, and
come
just
back
loop
over it.
and
Yeah,
then, and he does that.
There's a couple people in town that are pretty good at that. Like Johnny Cooper. He does that. There's a couple other guys I've seen do that. And girls too. There's a few female artists that are solo artists around here that it's pretty incredible to watch. Some people call it cheating. I call it being creative.
Yeah, because you got to do it on the fly too. Like it's a live show, so it's.
Here's my line in the sand with that. Is
do you think that's
I want
cheating?
you no, but I want you to do the loops live.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have all the presets and then just riff solos on that.
Right. You can have
to me, that's like, dude, you took like I want to see that you put in the time and like you can do that all.
Yeah, because it's part of the performance.
Exactly.
I'm with you on that. And that's what he does. And he'll just like like I've seen him in huge clubs, like even in different countries. He'll be kind of like the boiler room situation.
Yeah.
And he'll just improv. Like somebody will be wearing a shirt, and that'll be a whole song he just makes up.
Yeah.
Like, and he'll just like, play riffs over guitar, and then people are just like, It's just really good. But the other one I would want to see, do you, so you know who Tyler, the Creator is?
Yep.
He used to be in this group back in the day with Frank Ocean and some other guys called Odd Future.
Yeah.
You've ever heard them? I'd like to see like a reunion tour with
That
those
would
guys.
be cool.
And I'd like to, and that could be a big concert. It didn't have to be like a small room.
You'd almost want that to be a larger arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be my bigger one. And you know, I could go Queen. Queen would be badass to see, obviously. I think that, I mean, but at the same time, like, I don't want to go. I don't know. I just want to be a little bit like give a different age there. There's because there you could say
like I actually was on the fence between Elvis.
I don't know if I'd like to see Elvis.
Well, here's why. Here was my reasoning, and then we got to take
because my grandma would be over in the corner just like shaking, like, oh, you know what I'm talking about? All the women that you see that are just like, okay, come on, Carol, chill out.
That leads me to it though. Is I want to know. I want to go back in time, and I want to see. Okay, imagine all these teen pops that came out, Justin Bieber included. Like anyone you want to put in that category, where young girls were just falling over for them.
Yeah. It's like they're like when the preacher comes up to you and just like, in the name of God, or you know, and they just like fall over.
Exactly. So I want to go back in time and I want to see, okay, was it that much different or was it the same caliber of like what we've seen in our generation? It was just like the first back then. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, no, I think it's the same throughout every generation. I think like they just go crazy.
They go crazy. Let's take a quick break.
Yeah.
And then we've got plenty more coming for you. So we will see you on the other side of this break. All right. So yeah, we're back and
from the Bahamas.
Dude, I'd want to mention this. Is 2 days we had private cabanas in 2 different spots. The first cabana we had was by like a general pool on the resort.
Uh-huh.
And the server was excellent. She was just killing it. She actually had served the other family we were with the day before, so they had already gotten to know her. And they actually requested her for that day. But,
all right.
Dude, the food, incredible. We got, I did a lot of club sandwiches and turkey wraps and whatnot there. They were just so good.
Yeah.
But drinks, like, basically whenever you would just raise this flag up. Raise the flag, maybe? Poncho style, yeah. So it's just a red flag you'd raise up, and they'd come serve you.
That's Tommy's red flag.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you, real quick, I'm going to sidebar. Have you guys been hearing about beige flags?
Yeah, she sends me all the beige flag ones. She's like, this is totally.
Do you have one for him just cooking?
Yeah. Well, I'll say the one that I sent him most recently. Tommy's beige flag is that he brings up things that we were talking about hours before.
Talking to the mic.
Oh, sorry. He brings up things that we were talking about like hours before.
Yeah.
Like with no context.
Yeah.
It'll be like,
because it's just like
that guy was doing XYZ.
Yeah,
like,
he did
what?
have. Yeah, exactly. And you'd be like, oh, I was talking about the guy that we saw at QT or whatever. And you're like, I do the same thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't even know I'd do that. She sent me it, and I was confused for a second. And I asked her.
He gets mad that nobody knows what he's talking about.
I would say
context, please.
Mine is the other way around. I think I do that, but what I'll do, and we can get back to Bahamas, but I want to say mine is. I know this is that I give too much context, and so because I give too much context, Lulu's just like spit it out. Like, what are you trying to say? Just tell me what you're trying to say.
See, that's what I feel like I'm like. And she's like, no, you don't give any.
So I'll just be like, hey, I'll tell her a story and I'll be like, I just asked you a simple question. I'm like, okay, but not every question's a yes or no answer.
Boom.
But anyway, all right, Bahamas.
I agree.
You raised your red beige flag.
I am
with you on that. And it really,
I stand with you.
It's a little annoying because it's like, damn, I just let me get it out. I got all this. You're going to ask me more questions, follow-up questions. It's like, oh, okay, well, whatever. So go for it.
I feel you, brother.
Have y'all heard of the millennial pause?
Yeah, we do. I mean, yeah,
Y'all are really guilty of that.
that's fine because
It's a beige flag, I guess.
I think it's more of just we have to think about what we have to say. When that's just you got to
Sorry for being thoughtful.
you got to think about the words. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah.
just pause for a second. But I thought the millennial pause had something to do with the video that you start. Like you press the start button, and then that first split second is a pause because
it's
they
that, and then it's like pausing
like
like
that.
that.
Oh,
Tommy does it all the time.
Yeah, but I blame my brain injury.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sometimes I can see the gears moving.
Dude, things just work different these days.
yeah,
Yeah, you should have seen me while I was tweaking. It was
a different level.
no pauses.
No,
Yeah, no, listen. The second cabana we got was in this 25-degree north was the name of this little
I
private.
thought you were about to give me the longitude and latitude over here.
It was dope.
Yeah.
It was nice. The pool was an infinity pool.
Mm.
Way too cold. Way too cold for my
Really?
liking. It was freezing cold. Yeah. And
Oh, it's hurricane season. Forgot.
well, the ocean wasn't really, but the pool was like, yeah. I
But
would have
when the
rather
weather
just go
is
in
the
the ocean.
was the weather hot or
Yeah, I
said
mean,
it was raining a little
It
bit?
was like it was not blazing hot. It wasn't as hot as it was here today, yesterday, but it was still like warm and it was beautiful weather most of the time there. But it was this cabana. I mean, they had private TVs inside.
Yeah.
Like it was wild. But dude, these little birds were everywhere, and they would come in. It was like an outdoor but indoor little cabana, so it was like a house almost, like a
Uh-huh.
little cat, like
Like a little
that's
hut.
cool.
hut.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, dude. But one day I was laying out on this like beach chair thing right there, and a little sparrow landed on my foot.
Ooh,
It was so
just
cute.
like on
And
its
I was
toe.
like-
Yeah, like on your shoe.
I was like,
That.
"B, babe."
Let me see what sparrows represent while we're looking
And
this up.
I really wanted.
Ooh.
She yeah, it flew off before she could get a picture, but it was
It
so
was
cool.
cute.
We were one with nature.
Do you want to know what a sparrow means in dreams?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that.
Hey, Tommy, remember that cat we saw?
Oh yeah,
I fed it.
Dude, another freedom thing.
jeez.
Birds are the messenger, carrier, connect. Well, this is just so it says sparrow dream meaning. Sparrow hold an important place in the dream world. Birds are the messenger career. I'll keep on getting ads. This is stupid. I hate these kind of websites. Connecting two worlds through spirit, message, signs, and information. This is the second time you've got the same little hint.
Wow.
It signifies wisdom, fertility, peace, change, and love. It tells you about the phase of your life that you need to pay attention to and things that. So you need to pay attention to your foot, apparently.
Yeah, interesting.
Like maybe like a athlete's foot, staph infection. Might go get it checked out.
Yeah, my hand is more concerning at the moment.
Mm.
Got a little scalding burn.
Well, a little birdie might say something different.
Yeah, you're right. It might. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but dude, it was incredible. But one of the fun things was, the other family we were with, pretty big TCU fans, also. So watching the college ball,
Yeah.
like that was never not on our TV.
Oh, yeah.
It was just baseball.
Did the
And we had talked about this before. Baseball is boring.
college football,
College
baseball, sorry.
baseball was like more fun.
Yeah, especially because, I know a lot of it's big in Texas. Like all the Texas schools in baseball are pretty good.
Yeah.
Texas is good. A&M's pretty good. Obviously TCU is great.
TCU's, yeah.
Texas Tech's been great for a while, but I haven't really watched that much of it. But I think it's cool to they all get to play each other during this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's a big thing, especially for everybody that we know here in Texas. Just love watching that. I didn't get to hit too much of that this last week, but what about it? So they're still in it, TCU, right?
Yeah, well, they're going to the World Series.
Yeah.
And then I saw Texas yesterday. They took down Stanford. And it was the top of the ninth. They were down like 3 runs. The Stanford put in a freshman pitcher, I believe. And I mean, Texas just went to town. And
Yeah.
cleaned up on this dude, and they ended up winning by 2. So
That's gonna be rough.
huge win. And then Texas also in track was the women's track was dominating, and they won the outdoor event that I watched after. So it's cool to see Texas colleges doing well. But I know you've been
Oh yeah, dude.
on a
On a
sick one
different
with-
stage, not the World Series, but Little League. Alex, I just started baseball. He started a couple weeks ago, but I think you were gone for a little bit. And
Yeah.
we had to schedule around it. But dude, first of all, he's good. He's like he's played T-ball before, but this isn't T-ball. This is coach pitch, and we got him a new glove, all that kind of stuff, and so it's still like not like where I want it to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's not,
but the progress is getting there.
You gotta play catch with it, but it's still kind of hurting his hand and all that kind of stuff. But dude, like he's definitely the best on his team for sure.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yeah, and but he had this bat too that like it was a T-ball bat, and it's too small for him, all that kind of stuff. So after the first game, like after he just like was going off with this small ball or small bat, like Lulu for the next like week just did research on bats. She's picking out through like 10 bats, like, okay, we're gonna get this one. The drop on this bat is this, here's the barrel size. I'm like, God dang, like it was
Batwoman.
pretty sexy. Yeah, Batgirl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then shout out Barbara Gordon. And then but here's the thing is that when you're like, I'm not necessarily the dad, but when you're, a male that's taking a kid
You play
to
a
practice,
father figure.
yeah, you are basically the coach as well. Like when he goes to baseball practice, I go to baseball practice. Like he has a coach there, but I'm like setting up stuff, like throwing grounders, hitting balls, all that kind of stuff. And guess what? Like the coach isn't going to be there on this next week, so I'm running practice, baby.
Let's go.
I know, and I've already got stuff pulled out. Like I already know what we're going to be doing. First of all, we're working on cutoffs, right? They don't know what the hell a cutoff is.
Need to know.
Yeah, and first of all, this team that he's on,
Especially with those arms. Need to know.
they're kind of like the Bad News Bears. Like he's the best player, right? And all these other kids, like some of them haven't even played. One of the first practice, one kid didn't even have a glove. Like there's just. But now that like, and then the last game we had, one kid like finally got a hit, and I'm playing catcher, right? You know how the coach pitched.
Yeah.
If you don't have a catcher, it's usually a dad that's just throwing the balls back.
Right.
So I'm there, and he hits it. It kind of dribbles to the pitcher's mound. He's run. I'm like, run. He's running to first base, and his shoe comes off.
Again?
No, this is not Alex. This is a
okay.
different child. This is a different child.
Okay.
Again, no. And he just turns around and tries to pick his shoe up. I'm like,
Oh,
go, dude. And this is like his first hit, And I'm like, you're gonna always remember. Your parents are always gonna remember that your first time playing baseball, first time at bat, or first time getting a hit, you were getting your Nike baseball shoe. And anyway, so
did he make it to first?
no, he got thrown out,
Jeez,
dude.
man. Hey,
But
come on,
But
kid.
here's the deal that I was kind of wanting to get into first is that the teams that we've been playing, like we signed them up for just some YMCA league,
Yeah,
right? One that's like close by. A lot of these teams are what are called pioneer teams. Do you know what that is?
I do. Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, they're kind of like you have to try out. And
It's
these
almost like select, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
and these are like 7 and 8 year olds, right? So there's a big like ceiling, skill ceiling there. Like if you know how to hit a ball, then you're already like in the top, 10% of like 7 and 8 year olds. If you know how to catch a ball, ooh. If you know how to throw a ball to first,
You're an
like
all-star.
from third base, yeah, you're gonna make it to all stars.
Yeah.
Well, we're the last 2 weeks we've been playing kids that are in pioneer teams, and they play spring and fall, but they don't have a summer league, so they all have just decided to play here.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
We ran into that when I was younger. Yeah.
yeah. And so, like, I want to get Alex on one of these teams. Like, we kind of just signed up, and we didn't even have a coach. And so, like, we finally got a coach, all that kind of stuff. And it's just, just a ragtag group of kids. But they're getting blown out, like, every week.
I hate that for them.
Yeah. So it's
Dude, I tell
Tuesday.
you what, work on. You're gonna do cutoffs. I would
Yeah.
say the other thing.
I'm doing a lot of stuff. I'll tell you more stuff, but go for it. Give me some advice.
Well, so one of the things that really helped, and I mean, our nephew
Yeah.
is 4, and he can hit the ball better than most 6 and 7-year-olds.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is like with hitting is the eye contact to the ball.
Yeah. A lot of
Because
kids
so
shy
many
away.
kids just get in this bad habit of just swinging.
Mm-hmm.
So what we'll do sometimes, just testing him, is we'll act like we throw the ball, but hold it
Yeah.
and see if they swing. And it's little things that just catch them off for a second. It like brings it back to the fundamentals and the basics of
Yeah.
like, hey, you got to watch the ball. Same thing with ground balls.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, having the offhand there with the glove
Yeah. Some kids are still putting the glove on the wrong hand.
and
You know?
and knowing when to go underhand with your glove or overhand.
Yeah.
Like those simple things are game changers at
Oh,
that
yeah.
age.
Yeah.
But again, it's they're kids.
There's a couple things. There's this one kid there that like once he has started to figure out how to throw, he can throw the ball like super quick, super fast. But he scares me. This is not Alex, this is a different kid. He scares me because he doesn't know how to catch very well. And like Alex was playing catch with him the other day and he was throwing him right at the kid. And so the kid like will try to throw his glove up last second.
Ooh.
And dude, it was like hitting him in the shoulder and like
Dude,
and I'm just like, hey, so every single time he's about to throw the ball, you need to call for the ball. You need to have your glove up and say, hey, throw it here, like here.
yeah.
That way he kind of knows when to be ready. Because I think it's easier to swing down, get the glove underhand, keep the glove overhand. Because you're always, most the time they teach you to,
Dude,
catch the
the
ball.
kids that like, yeah, they don't
You know what
know
I'm saying?
that line, and for me, it's always like above the waist, chest,
Yeah.
below the belt, like knowing that imaginary line. Dude, we were warming up in Little League one year. I used to pitch. I played shortstop and I pitched.
Yeah, we both did
And,
that.
That's right. I forgot. We literally
Yeah.
did the same. Yeah. Well, before games, we'd warm up and we'd be in lines playing catch, and I'd do kind of like right before it was game time, I'd
Yeah.
do like 10, 10, and 10. So I'd throw like, 10 close range. I'd take, steps back,
Yeah.
throw 10 more steps back. So I'm throwing harder and harder velocity. Well, that kid I was throwing to, he had that same problem. And dude, I broke his nose.
See, that's what I'm saying, man.
Before the game.
He's one throw away from getting hit
I
in the face.
mean, that thing exploded. It just was gushing. And I felt so bad. Like I was really good friends with the kid. But the reason it happened, dude, I mean, it wasn't that I threw, an outrageous ball. It was
Yeah.
just that
He
it was
didn't know how
right
to catch
at
it.
like chin to face level
and he did the-
rising.
yeah.
And he didn't know how
Throw his
to
glove up.
situate it.
That's so here's what we're going to work on. You tell me if you think is a good idea. All right. So, first of all, everybody got a hit last game, which I'm pretty proud of. The first game, we didn't have any runs. I think like Alex and maybe 2 other kids got on base.
Yeah.
And so we worked on batting last week. We have a kid that switch hits.
Yeah, that was me. I used to do that.
I just bat left-handed. That's it. Can you do it still?
Not great. My nephew is the same way though.
Really?
He's left-handed, but that's what changes it for him is like, I don't know. He's got, my thing was I broke my right arm twice as a kid,
Oh, so you had to
so I
switch over?
had to.
Yeah.
And then when I went back, I could switch hit, and it was fun. It was cool because
Yeah.
actually sometimes my dad was our coach primarily, and
Yeah.
I mean there were some games where we were going up pitchers as we got a little bit older, and he was like, hey, like it would throw a pitcher off. And dude, I had that problem pitching. I don't know if you did, but when I was
Yeah.
throwing to certain kids,
Yeah.
if they were, left-handed, something about,
For me, it was the opposite.
okay.
If they were left-handed, like because they're on the opposite side of your body from the hand that you're throwing,
It
seemed
seemed
easier
easier.
to me. Yeah.
Yeah. But like the curveballs and certain things, it was just a mental game for me
Yeah.
because I was like, I'm gonna nail them.
I always thought the other way with the right hand, dude.
Yeah.
Like when I saw a left-handed hitter, and especially because I was a left-handed hitter, I was like, okay, I know kind of. I don't know. It just for me, it seemed easier. I don't know.
Yeah.
But okay, so here's what we're gonna be working on. All right. So a lot of times there would be a kid on first base, the second baseman or the shortstop or even the third baseman would get the ball, and they would just throw it to first base and not look at second.
Yeah.
And then the opposite would happen. Like no one would be on first. Someone would be on second.
And they throw it to
or they throw it to second and that kid would already be like didn't have
Yeah.
to move. And it's just like we're gonna do live game stuff where I'm gonna have them all out on the field.
Yeah.
Maybe have either like one kid run the bases or maybe like have a whatever and just set up.
I would do it where if you can, if there's another dad there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I was probably gonna get the dad to be like the runner, or
Yeah.
maybe like at least just have him out on first base and be like, okay, and then just hit it to the second baseman and be like, okay, where do you throw it here? You know, just because they were getting so confused, and then it's always that they need to know where to throw the ball before the play hits.
Exactly.
That's what it always is in baseball. It's like you got to run through the stuff that. Okay, if the ball gets hit to me, where is it gonna go?
It's like a formula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So there's somebody on first. Okay, cool. I'm right here at second. I'll just tag second, look at first. Like it's just they need to have that going through their mind, and I don't think they are. I mean, obviously they
Yeah.
don't. They're not. So
We used to run drills like that, and I think part of it was that the dads are so much taller than the kids, so it was like very obvious who's on base.
that's a good point. Yeah.
And then also the dad has comprehension of when to run and when
Right.
you know what is going on. Because I mean, we used to do it with like, you know, we'd keep a cone stationary, and that meant X, Y, and Z. Like, but
Yeah.
it got too tricky, especially for the younger kids.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then like just doing like slow walkthroughs, like we used to do in football on Thursdays.
Yeah.
Just doing walkthroughs of like, okay, we're not running, but we're gonna walk this.
Yeah.
and you're gonna tell me where
Where to
is-
go?
Yeah.
And you just have
You
everybody
got it.
have
Yeah.
everybody kind of like say it out loud. Here's something I want to tell you that happened yet. Like I had a game yesterday. Lulu had to work, and I left, and we were in charge of the snacks this week.
Oh yeah.
First of all, we
What'd you
loaded
get?
up, dog. We had Pringles, Chewy Bar, and then just a miscellaneous snack from our pantry that we're trying to get rid of
Yeah.
with red Gatorade and Popeyes.
Dude,
All right.
can't go wrong.
I know. So I'm in charge of like getting it all to the game because she's not going to be able to go. She was devastated. She wanted to go so bad. Well, I left my keys in her car, and I'm sitting here like, 10, 15 minutes before we got to start, going, and I'm looking everywhere. And so I had to call an Uber to come pick us up. So I had Alex in this Uber car, like put all the snacks and like the ice chest in the trunk.
This guy's
And-
like, where y'all going?
Yeah, I know. And then we got there, lost, whatever, Pioneer team, and then had to like trek home. But now I have like all these. I had like the coach was also giving me like all the balls, and I so dude like when the next I had to get another Uber, so I have like probably like 5 bags, and he's like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, she was devastated. She was asking me like first question. She was like, "So do they like the snacks? Did they like?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, they were lining up. Dude, ice pop in the summer.
It goes hard.
Yeah. What's the flavor for because I've eaten now since we have them. I've eaten every flavor. I'll tell you which one's the best. I used to not like this flavor, but dude,
The blue?
yes. Yes.
Dude, I just had a feeling.
yeah, the blue one is like
See, yeah. That
even the red one, like
Yeah.
the ones that I used to always I was a pink guy, green guy, yellow guy.
yeah,
And I still like them, but
pink and green. Yeah.
but the blue is like next level. It's like that antifreeze shit. That
Pink
we're
and
talking
green.
about.
That's a saying in the rooms of recovery. There's the 2 things that'll take you out. Is pink and green.
What is that? Pills and
No.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Pink.
Oh, okay. That's kind of sexist.
Yeah, and then
Money.
yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Wow.
But those are great flavors. Great flavors. For,
Yeah.
For the
What's you got a go-to flavor for ice pop?
What's your ice pop flavor?
She's like, I don't give a
If it
shit.
has the yellow that looks,
Yeah,
it's
kind
like
of.
golden yellow.
Yes.
It's the mango,
That
and
one's
then
good.
the
Yeah.
blue.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the very like highlighter green is so good though too.
Yep, that is one of my favorites. I think we're gonna have to go get some.
Dude, you could come help me with baseball if you
Dude,
want.
hey,
That'd be
I'd
fun.
be down.
You'd be like,
I'd
who's this
actually,
guy?
I would enjoy it.
We have enough dads, but I think it'd be fun for you to come watch. I mean, if you want.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what. B is going on a cruise to Alaska. So I'm gonna be
Hell
In
yeah.
like 8 days.
yeah. So I'm gonna be kind
Oh yeah.
of hanging
Winging
around, winging it solo. So I might have to just
It's pretty fun.
hop on a baseball.
He got to
practice.
play 2 games, not this week, but last week. He got picked up because one team didn't have enough players,
Yeah.
and I wish we would have been on that team. Like grown men play on that team, and I mean, he's as good as those kids. But the team that we're on, I just am like, man,
Little baby Roos out there.
yeah. There's actually one of them's name's Rocco, not
Okay.
on our team, but on this, and he looked like an old Babe Ruth, like,
Living in a modern world.
kind of chubby, like,
Yeah.
and his voice sounded like my voice, and I'm like, how old are like, you know how like they have those like Little League World Series, they gotta have the birth certificate and stuff like that.
I'm
This
in
kid had-
6th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he was
He's like, I'm in 7th grade.
yeah, he was showing one kid how to throw the ball. He was like, hey, don't be scared of it. Don't be scared of the ball. I'm like,
God.
God, this kid's fucking 7 years old.
He's intimidating.
Yeah, he's like, hey, when I throw it at you, don't step away from the ball. All right, let's get behind it. I'm like, God,
That's that's what his dad says to him in the backyard all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, it was
That's hilarious. Dude,
Yeah.
we had one of the dads. So, dude, we need to, we should break down some of the baseball dads because I don't know if it's still this way, but there was a few dads I can picture right now.
yeah,
And one of them was a coach. I couldn't stand. He coached me in All Stars one year, and I fucking hated it. I will say this. I will give credit here. One of his sons plays in the MLB now.
oh, okay, well that'll do it.
So they did something right. But, dude, this dad would just bug the shit out of me because he was like, he'd have a big chaw. And I mean, we were like 8 years old.
Yeah.
Huge chaw. And he had like the biker baseball shorts on.
Oh,
the real
yeah.
short ones.
Yeah,
He smelled like an entire bottle of cologne all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Chain on his neck, chest hairs popping out. He got the
He's a
baseball.
$7 million bull rider. Yeah, one of those guys.
Yeah. So, but I mean, dude, he'd put the fear of Babe Ruth and God at you at the same time. Like it was
Yeah.
just like I really got to live up to a lot right now.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, it was like that sweat and cologne smell,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
and just a pissed off face all the time.
There's we got to take a break here in a second, but one of my favorite coaches I've ever had, he had a cigar smell to him and cologne. He would he would know he wasn't supposed to be smoking cigars or like cigarettes. It was definitely a cigar, like a Black and Mild kind of smell.
Okay.
But he would try to wash it away with cologne. And he would like give you like a hug. He'd be like, "Hey, bud, how all that," and it smelled so good. I think
if
So-
you had the cigar smell,
Yeah.
that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was dude. It was always a trip with the dads out there, and
yeah,
now we're getting to be those
and
people.
it's kind of cool to see the other side.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a quick break, and then I think we're gonna do some agree or disagree.
Yes, sir.
So stick around. Hello.
Welcome back. When we left off, we were talking about the segment Agree or Disagree. This is where B gives you and I a prompt, a topic, and we say gold star if we agree, and see you after class if we disagree. I sent her some, so I know them, but we'll see how it goes. You didn't send any, right? No.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize we were doing it
No, you're
this
good.
episode,
You're
but
good.
dude, I'm excited. It's one of my favorite segments that we do.
Yeah, mine too. And you said you looked at the first one a little bit.
You sent it as a text, so
Oh yeah,
naturally I went to read it, and then I was like, oh, that's what that is. So
yeah.
I just saw one of these, but yeah, we'll jump right in.
Let's get into it.
Well, lucky for y'all, the first one that we're gonna do is one that I just thought of.
Ooh,
So y'all both don't know it.
yes.
Okay. Traveling to the mountains is a better summer vacation than going to the beach in the summer.
What if we switched it? Can you switch it?
Yeah, let's switch it.
Like mountains in the summer. Wait,
Wait,
you know what I'm saying?
beach in the summer?
Okay,
Because
you're trying to say that in the summertime, going to the mountains is better than the beach.
Yeah.
I already have my answer, but
I'm gonna say see me after class.
yeah, see me after class. I'm
Okay.
I'm a big summer guy when it comes to vacation spots. I do like to ski and stuff like that, but I think it's closer to like winter, winter time. I know that it's like fresh in the mind.
I
You
think
want to.
it's because like where we live is that I want this season of a colder weather mountain sometimes. I will say this: the one thing about the mountains in the summer is the hiking and fishing
Ooh,
aspect.
yeah.
But I don't know. It's something about dude the beach. Like I love it. I just
Yeah,
love going
me
to
too.
the beach. And when you go to the beach and not in the summer, at least where I've been, when it's
Cool.
not hot out,
Yeah.
I don't like the beach
Me
as much.
neither. I hate it, especially like sometimes on spring break. I remember back in the day, you'd go to the beach and it was like the summer or like the weather hadn't changed completely yet, and so you're getting like some of those cold fronts, and some days maybe it even rained at the beach.
Or it's like windy as all get out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's just the worst.
Like I'll tell you the best though is like certain places on the beach, because it is like beachfront.
Yeah,
It'll cool off at night, which is awesome because it's like, dude, you can wear a hoodie at night,
yeah.
but then during the day, you're like putting on sunscreen.
What I'll say is that I think for those two vacations, the weather has more of an impact on the beach vacation than it does on like a mountain snow. Like even though, yeah, if you want to go skiing, there's got to be snow, but you're gonna know that there's snow before you book the vacation, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, typically, yeah, and I
So-
think that like a fall in the mountains is equally as good
Yeah.
as the summer in the
And
mountains.
not everything's like based around the weather as it is on the beach. If it's on the beach and it's like a shitty day at the beach, overcast, rain,
Unless you're
windy.
going for a specific activity, like for example, if you're trying to go fly fishing, well then there's certain season
Sure.
you want to go. But other than that, like just in general
Right.
experience in the mountains, I'm good pretty much anytime. I do love the mountains, but in the summertime, I'm a beach guy, I think.
Yeah, same here. What you got? What do you think?
Mm. Well, I'm being spoiled this summer, and I'm getting both. So
Yeah.
that's like my ideal summer. Is
She'll
a little bit of
report.
both.
She'll
Yeah.
report back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she just got back from the Bahamas and now she's going to Alaska.
Well, you're
Yeah.
going to the mountains too in July.
Yeah, no. But I think it's badass. You get to go to
The
Alaska.
best of
Yeah.
both worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll report back. Okay. Let's see.
She's only hit in Montana when she puts the wig on.
Yeah, don't expose my secret. Okay. It doesn't matter whether you enjoy your job or not, as long as it's a well-paid job. I'd love to hear what Tommy has to say about this.
See me after class.
You think? Read it again. I know I put this one in, but read it
It
again.
doesn't matter whether you enjoy your job or not, as long as it's a well-paying job.
I think I'm gonna give it a gold star. Honestly, I'm gonna give it a gold star.
Money overall.
Not money overall. Being able to like support yourself and have like a living wage, or like that's what I'm getting at. Like if you can, whatever that monthly bill situation is with utilities and being able to live a little bit over that, I think that is more important to me than like the job that you have.
Yeah, but what if it's a super toxic environment? Like, okay, put it this way, frame it this way.
Yeah.
You're making more money than you've ever made, but it's a super toxic environment. Your schedule is literally all the time, every day, 6-7 days a week. You don't get to control much of anything.
Yeah.
And
I
you're
agree
doing
with
the
you on
same
that.
thing over and over and over, and you do that for, years on end
Yeah.
just to make money that you rarely even get to,
So
enjoy, but
yeah.
like you have it. There's that element.
absolutely.
My
And
thing
so-
is why not find something you like and make money doing it?
Yeah, that's not the question though.
Right. But if,
yeah,
if I
I'm
had
with
to
you.
pick, I'm just saying that's
So-
why I say see me after class. Because I was
Well, can I
Yeah,
give
yeah.
you like a little bit more clarity of like kind of what I was thinking?
yeah.
So I wasn't thinking like a toxic workplace. I was thinking more of like, okay, this is a job that you don't like to do, and not necessarily, and like the hours, sure. I'm thinking 9 to 5, 8 to 5. Like I'm thinking that. But if we're adding that, yeah, absolutely. That's like that definitely makes it a more even. Where like I didn't put that in perspective. Having like
Okay.
let's
so
say
it's
like
not
you have a
terrible.
shitty boss where he's whoever it is they're just like, hey, they don't give you any credit for anything, like all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
So it's just not an ideal job.
Like, okay,
but you're
for
making
example, like let's say you're waiting tables, but for you, like they just pay you, a living wage where like where you are now in life, you would be able to like survive, go on vacations. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like or just
Yeah.
not
No,
even that,
I
like-
would rather do something that
like a backbreaking construction job, but you're getting paid very well.
Yeah. No, I get that. Yeah.
That's kind of how I saw it. But maybe I like the way you said it first. Like, toxic work environment.
Well, because like let's face it, if you're gonna make a chunk of money,
yeah,
typically it's based on skill level,
sure.
experience level, or something sales related. Typically, and or you've got years into this career,
Yeah.
or what have you. Most of the time, this is not. There are exceptions, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, dude, for example, you could be, you could start your own company and something take off. Like, there's a lot of, different situations, but in general, I have found that, at jobs where I made more money, it was great for a while,
Yeah.
but then like I had no life. I was on the road constantly.
Yeah.
I could not have a relationship. Like it just,
Yeah.
there was so many things
I'm with you on that.
that there was no balance. But then being on the other side of the spectrum, and I mean, admittedly, more recently, that's where I've found myself is like even worse, working for a company that doesn't respect you at all,
Yeah.
and still not making money.
Yeah.
Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Yeah. So we're not like
I would take the job I
Yeah.
didn't want if I made more money and could live more comfortably,
Yeah.
and take stress off,
Yeah.
given the circumstances you're saying.
So that's a good point. And we don't talk about what we do here. Like you and I don't talk about work at all.
Sure.
And I don't. Another thing that my dad had listened to on this podcast, I did say something of where I used to work, like when I was in my 20s at one point, and probably shouldn't have done that. I didn't mean to. I hinted at where I worked.
Yeah.
I hinted at where I worked. But here's what I'm going to say is that where I'm at now in life is like I need to be able to provide for Lulu, her kids, like be able to do that.
Yeah.
At the same time, I need to be able to have like quality time with her and her kids, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm having to do baseball practice,
Yeah.
right? I've gone to every baseball practice. I've gone to every game, every soccer game. I missed one soccer practice, and like I felt terrible about it, and that was because of the work that I was doing at that time. It was like I'd get home sometimes at 10 at night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just wasn't
I feel
cohesive.
you.
It
I
wasn't
feel you.
cohesive for me. And at one, there is a breaking point for us to do that. Like so like now I'm in a much happier place. Like, great family work balance, if that makes sense.
No, it rocks.
And so
Yeah,
I think there's a fly.
it's okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so I think that there's definitely like that line, and I guess it's just honestly it's an objective or it's a subjective question, and whatever that line is for you. And I think for me now, right now,
Yeah,
like
and
I
so-
want to get home at around like 5 or 6.
Right, but that's what I'm talking about though. There's things you want you're not gonna always get with some of those higher paying jobs. Like B and I've sat down. I had that conversation recently. He's like, look,
Watch this. I'm gonna kill it. PETA, close your eyes.
oh,
I missed it.
yeah, no, I had this conversation recently. It's like, hey, I know I could go to X, Y, and Z company. Here's what I would roughly make.
Yeah.
You'll never see me.
Right.
Like, I won't be home in the evenings. I'll be eating dinner about 10 o'clock at night most nights.
Going
You're
back.
actually required to work at certain time frames, and that puts you like,
especially when things are ramping up.
I'm like,
projects.
dude, we would not see each other based on her schedule, like my schedule.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I'm going to do all that and be miserable. And like, yes, financially we'll have that comfort.
Yeah.
But like, for what? And that's like, now it's like, I'm actually starting back something I used to do.
Yeah.
And it allows me to kind of have a little bit of both. And have that balance, because I'm at a point too where just like you, it's like having to provide for more than myself.
Yeah.
With that mindset of the future and family and all that, and it's like, it can be a little overwhelming sometimes.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot overwhelming.
Yeah.
But like to be able to be comfortable and not be like stressing over that element of life is nice. So I think that a lot of people are in the same.
It's got to be worth
thing.
the struggle too.
Yeah, and also the thing about like, dude, unlike a lot of the boomers, is like most people aren't in just one thing for their entire lives.
Yeah.
Like these days, it's like you are jumping around more.
It's
And
because, and sorry I didn't cut you off. Go for it. You got something else? Because I have seen this shift. Obviously, I mean
Well,
we're old enough now to know what the reason. The reason is because, like, starting out, if you're at a company, they're going to give you an entry level pay, like salary, right? The thing is that promotion that you get, the dollar amount, the year experience, or whatever, that year review that you get, you're supposed to get some type of promotion.
right.
Lately, what's been happening is companies have really not been taking care of their employees. Like they just see them more of like, oh, okay, we can get rid of them and hire someone in for cheaper.
Yeah.
And so because of that, like our generation and obviously, like Gen Zs, they've seen that the company doesn't really care about you. I mean, there's
not
exceptions.
the
There are
same.
exceptions.
There's not the same loyalty.
There's not.
Yeah.
And so what you need to do, and people, this is very proactive. People need to be doing this, even if you're comfortable with your job. Like, have your resume ready, and you can shop it around. Where you're at right now, like whatever job you have, like whatever you're making, somebody else is paying more. And,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And
Dude,
so, like, you can like stutter step your way up a tax bracket by shopping around who you like your resume.
Dude, we were at a wedding last year, and someone there we were talking to, I thought, they were telling me what they told their kids, their advice, and their kids are our age and younger.
Yeah.
They're like, you need to move companies every 2 to 3 years. And I was like, They're like, because
that
you're going to
depends.
continue to make more money by doing that, getting the experience, and then moving. You can move laterally and still make more money.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then what I've found is like, dude, you can be the number one guy at a company, A,
Yeah.
and you can be the number one guy making X amount of money, but you can go to company B and be the number 5 guy and be making 30% more.
Absolutely.
So it's like there's so many
So-
different elements and levels.
Go ahead.
but also is, I would say this is another thing that I always keep in my mind is I'm always on the market.
Yeah. I mean, and that's smart to do, like, because, for example, you said earlier, like, it's stressful having to provide, or like stressful, like,
Well,
you need
just
to
when you
have a plan
spend,
B, a plan C, a plan D. Like,
yeah,
okay, if this happens, and that's, I mean, obviously it's, but I have a friend that we used to work together, roughly making the same amount of money, and we don't work at the same company anymore, but he just now got a new position somewhere else, and for the same job, but same title, but is making uh, close to $40,000 more.
yeah,
And they're both the same, like, equivalent companies. They're very good companies, but he's got the experience now, and he just can demand more, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
and I wouldn't
yeah.
say, hey, go quit your job tomorrow or anything like that. All I'm saying is that if you think that because you put in so much work at a company that they're going to, like, always see you as an asset, they're not. There's always going to be a bottom dollar. If but also there are great companies out there that will, you'll be like, hey, I've been here for 20 years. I've been here for 30 years. Like,
Yeah.
but there's,
Glassdoor is a great
yeah,
place to.
but a lot of
Sure.
times, like, even during the pandemic, a lot of people saw that you're very expendable, right? Like, people got let go,
Yeah.
just like at the drop of the hat, because things were slowing down, and it was so you just always kind of have that.
I had a GM call me a year after something that happened at a previous company I was at. A year after, call me on the phone one day, and basically apologize and say, "Hey, we were dealing with something we'd never dealt with before, and the way I handled things with you was totally out of emotion
Yeah,
and stress and uncertainty of my security and also like the company that I was helping run,
yeah,
corporate company." And he was like, "I just wanted you to know, like, that you have a spot here and you're welcome to come back
that's cool.
if you want to." And it meant a lot to me, as much as like as shitty as it was.
Yeah.
I mean, it went basically just short of a lawsuit. It was kind
Yeah.
of ugly, but the humanity came back after some of that kind of turmoil settled down.
Last thing I'll say is I have a buddy that had worked in the oil field, and that's like touch and go. It can be very, very good. It can be not so good. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And that's what happened. I think he might have gotten, let go. Like a year later, I'm with him, and he gets a phone call from, like, the GM, basically, and just like, hey, we need you. Like, we need you tomorrow. Here's the amount of money we're going to give you. We'll and it's out in the middle of West Texas. So
Yep.
it's like, 7 hours away. It was like, we'll get you a spot. Like, we'll fly you out there. Like, we need you tomorrow. And, like, he was considering it, but he was like, then he started remembering all the things that had happened, and he's like, yeah, it's not worth it. So I do say that the pay is worth it, but at the same time, there is a line in the sand where it's like this, you're coming home and you're just going right back. You're putting your head to the pillow, then going right back. That's not worth it. That's not living. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So, you got another one for us, B? Sorry, that one went long.
That was long-winded. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Swimming in the ocean is better than swimming in a public pool.
So I thought of this one because of the Bahamas. I wanted to hear
Yeah.
your answer. I saw you guys dancing on the beach.
I am going to give it a gold star, but I have an afterthought on that, which I'll get to in a second.
So it's like it's a gold star, but
There's an
then
asterisk.
the teacher writes,
There's an
like,
asterisk, yeah.
needs improvement, even though there's a gold star.
It's like gold star. I'm going to pass it. It's good,
Yeah.
but I do have a comment to make. Yeah, it's
Okay.
one of those.
Maybe at the PTA meeting or something.
It's like a quick 2-second see me after class.
Okay.
But,
Mine is
but gold star.
Mine's for sure a see me after class. Like, needs
Oh.
improvement. A pool party beats a beach party any day, I think.
Interesting.
I love a pool party.
Dude,
Actually, right after this,
but
I'm
it
going.
says public pool.
Did it say
It
public
says
pool?
public pool.
Yeah, public
And that's
pool.
what.
Oh, okay. Well,
dude, we were at a store yesterday getting a couple things, and we walked by some people, and I actually made the comment. I was like, they smell like they just got out of a public pool.
yeah, the chlorine and
It's something different.
Okay, so
And not knocking it, dude. I went to.
No, you're
dude,
right.
I was still getting a public pool. Don't get me wrong.
I'm with you on that because what I like, for example, we live in an apartment and there's a public pool there, and there's these same like 15 people that go to the pool every day.
Yep.
Like I don't even know. I think maybe one of them works and like the other ones like they'll switch off.
Yeah.
Like okay, I got to go to work. Okay, cool. And they're all there all the time. And that's fun, but like when I'm wanting to hang out and do stuff, like they're playing volleyball in the pool and stuff, and like so like then the ball hits the water and splashes you, and you're just like fuck.
Yeah.
So like all that, and they're wearing the shirts in the pool. Not a great look.
Yeah. No, dude, I lived at several apartments and pools, and
Some of them do it right. My old apartment that I had.
Yeah, there was one place I had in Austin. It was a great spot, but it had multiple pools, and the main pool was kind of influencer central. It was just like not my vibe as much. It was.
Do you remember?
It was that vibe. But then the other pool was more like felt like a private pool. Honestly, it was like not as cool of a pool at all, but it's where I'd go hang out. And then the last place I was at. Yeah, it was the same like you're saying, 15 to 20 people every day.
Yeah.
And I don't know what they do, but they just kind of live there and they're always in the pool.
So I'm thinking house pool. I'm thinking like, hey, it's it's my birthday, or hey, we're just having people over to celebrate, whatever. Like come to the pool. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And so I said public pool. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Even if it was just a pool, I would
Let's
still
just go beach versus pool.
Yeah, I would still stand by the beach.
All right.
The only caveat I had is I did have a near death experience in the ocean one time. I was actually in California, Orange County, Table Rock Beach. It was storming. It was a thunderstorm. It was raining. I was in sober living.
Okay.
And then this guy that I knew that was also in the same program, he was like grew up around that in California, and so it was storming. The water was like kind of, it was deceiving.
Yeah.
Like it didn't look that bad, but the undertow and shit was like
yeah.
the waves were.
See,
they were
beach
different.
could kill you.
So that's what I'm saying. Is like, dude, there's this like section that it's like a horseshoe, and you could walk around over it, but we were gonna swim out, and there's these huge rocks, hence Table Rock Beach. But there's also a place people jump and do like some little cliff diving. But this was on the other side, and we were gonna swim through, right? Well, dude, I got obliterated by this wave. I hit one of the rocks. I hit my head on one of the rocks.
Damn.
And it didn't completely knock me out or anything, but it stunned me bad enough that I couldn't make it up before the next wave.
And you're just like,
and I
this
swallowed,
is it.
dude. And I went under to where I couldn't see light.
You didn't know which way was
I
up.
like literally was so dazed and like just basically got rocked. And
Shit.
I was drowning. I don't doubt I would have drowned. He grew up in swimming in oceans. It's a different type of swimming.
Yeah.
He actually used to be a lifeguard. And there was a very famous surf photographer that happened to be out there. There was no one else on this beach this day. I mean, it's terrible weather.
Yeah.
Right? And this guy was out on the other side of one of these huge rocks, and he was taking pictures of the storm and stuff in the ocean.
Yeah.
And he zoomed in on his camera and saw me and what was happening. He actually ran down around, and he came down to the beach in case we needed help. And I was green. And as soon as I got my buddy, he like basically was like put me in a like chokehold. And by the time I made it back to shore, like I was puking everywhere.
God,
it was like
dang.
I was just flush green. And ever since then, like last year, like I still want to go out in the big waves, but I have a different like respect for the ocean. In the pool,
you respect the ocean.
dude, I don't even think about that at the pool.
Yeah.
So that was my
My last thing is there's like crazy shit out in the ocean. One time we were out in South Padre and I was swimming. You know, when you're at a house party, there's a pool, there's bathrooms. You can go pee if you want, whatever. In the ocean, you just go, right?
yeah.
So and South Padre is like pretty far away from where we live. I peed. We were going to the ocean, then we were going to leave, right? We were going to go back home to Fort Worth. I peed, and there's like amoebas that will swim up your pee stream
your pee hole.
into your urethra. That happened to me.
Oh yeah, I've seen Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, it happened to me. And
No.
like, yeah, it happened to me, and it hurt so bad.
No way.
Yeah, it
Dude,
hurts.
are you kidding?
No, it hurts so bad.
That's my biggest fear about
Yeah.
peeing in the
It
oh
hurt
my
so bad. Like it like
God.
I didn't know what happened to me. Now it was like there was bumps all over my dickhead.
Oh man.
There was like it hurt so bad.
Did
like,
you
every time I peed?
how did you resolve it? Did it come out?
I think I had to go get medicine. This was like when I was like 17, 16.
Oh, fuck.
But like I think I had to go to the doctor.
Did you know immediately that's what it was?
No.
Did you think you had a STD or something?
No.
Okay.
I thought this like I'm pretty sure actually I thought that's what it was
So
because I'd seen that movie. It was like with The Rock back in the day.
You were like, no, this can't be happening.
Yeah, I think I had seen it had come out at the
That's
same
where
time.
I first saw that.
What is it called? Like Running Tall or something like that?
There's whatever it
One
is.
of those two. He had two movies that came out that
The
were,
Rock. That's the first time I ever knew
Yeah.
that existed.
and like
Yes.
Stifler basically.
I was in Lubbock, Texas.
Yeah. So that
and
movie
saw
had
that.
just come out, or
Yeah.
like I had seen it recently or whatever, and I think that I was like, man, I peed in the pool. Do you think or up in the ocean? I think that might be what it is,
Jeez.
and then that's what it was. So
that is wild.
yeah, dude, it hurt
Shit.
so bad. Like we were the whole trip back to Fort Worth. Like I was dying. All right, what we got? You got two. Okay, got you. Oh dang. All right, let's just do that one that I wanted to hear your what your take on it was. We got 2 minutes.
Which one? The baby.
Yeah.
Is Baby Gronk the new drip king?
Or is
He's risen up, Livy Dunn.
Libby? Yeah. What
Baby-
was it? Is Baby Gronk? She just
There's just
risen him up. Yeah.
Yeah, she
it's
gave
Libby
him a
just risen him up.
hug.
Yeah. Dude,
he is the new drip king.
For
You
know.
guys who are
But
lost,
dude, there's something about a girl that'll hug you. A girl that'll hug you that will put you on the map too.
yeah, true.
I mean, it's just
For those of you guys like, what are you talking about? There's just this video that came out where this guy just used a bunch of Gen Z buzzwords, and people are going crazy with it. Baby Gronk got rizzed up by Livy Dunn.
yeah. He's how old is he?
He's like 10.
And LSU's got their eyes on him.
No, not even.
Yeah.
But all right. So next week who do we got coming on? You said we got a phone call.
Yeah. We got a new friend, Charles.
Yes, sir.
And he's out of California. He has a podcast he's just launching. It's the Mental Wealth Podcast.
Yeah.
No, I talked to him recently. He's got an interesting story. We thought it was definitely worth talking to him. So look forward to that. Find us on socials at Post Hump Day. Again, I'm Tommy DeSalt.
Kellen King.
We'll see you on the other side.